Professor Matthews, Associate Deputy Vice Chancellor, Strategy, International and Engagement, along with Professor Prem Chetri from the School of Accounting, Information System and Supply Chain, RMIT. I would also take this opportunity to warmly welcome our esteemed dignitaries from across the Amity Education Group to be a part of this important event today with us. Amity University enjoys long-standing collaboration with RMIT Australia. RMIT Australia is a prestigious public research university ranked 140th in the world as per the QS ranking, renowned for its quality education and innovative research. RMIT has the main campus in Melbourne City, along with various satellite campuses. We welcome you once again. With that, I have the honor to welcome and introduce to you Professor Dr. Gurinder Singh, our guiding light and mentor. Professor Dr. Gurinder Singh, Group Vice Chancellor, Amity Universities, Director General, Amity Group of Institutions, and Vice Chairman, Global Foundation for Learning Excellence. Sir has an extensive experience of more than 28 years in institution building, teaching, consultancy, research, and industry. A renowned scholar and academician in the area of international business, Sir holds a prestigious doctorate in the area along with a postgraduate degree from the prestigious Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, where he illustriously topped with 7 merits. Sir holds the distinction of being the youngest founder pro-vice chancellor of Amity University for 2 terms, the founder director general of Amity International Business School, and the founder CEO of Association of International Business School, London. Without any further ado, may I please request Sir to kindly address the august gathering. May we put our hands together?
They say that when friends meet, they don't need any introduction. Very warm welcome to the leadership team of RMIT, who are not only our partners, but very close friends, and we know them from many long years. Very warm welcome. And we know that today there was a very huge traffic, but you made it. We have a very long association with your university. Your former Vice Chancellor, Professor Martin Bean, has been on campus twice. Your Deputy Vice Chancellor has been on this campus thrice. And great to see our friends now. I think it's your first time that you are coming here. But I'm sure that with your coming, the things would be much stronger. We know that you have got a business background, and we have got a very strong business faculty here. And Professor Prem Chetri, what should we say about you? You are a friend from a long time. We know you from RMIT. We also know you from our previous associations where you were working with the previous universities. But very warm welcome to all of you. We before you came, we had a long meeting at an apex level where our founder, where our chancellors, where all deans, we sat together to understand that what we can do together now. Because I think that in the past, we have seen hundreds of our students going to RMIT on study abroad program, on your few programs. But then we need to now see that how we should cement it, what should be the strategic vision between the two universities. So very warm welcome to both of you. MIT is a vision of Dr. Chauhan, who after spending more than 3 decades in Europe, came back to India with a one vision that we need to create a university which should be able to bring changes in the entire world, in the education system. At that point of time in India, there were only public universities. There were no private university. So we became the first education group which contributed in India to bring the education revolution by integrating private universities into the system. So that was his contribution. Today, MIT has got 200,000 students, 6,000 faculty and scientists, 11 universities in Noida, Gurugram, Greater Noida, Lucknow, Jaipur, Mumbai, Gwalior, Kolkata, Raipur, Ranchi, Patna, Mohali, and Bengaluru. These are all premier cities of India. We have got two chancellors. One chancellor, Dr. Atul Chauhan, who is also chancellor of this university. He himself is a product of London School of Economics and University College London, from where he did his engineering and a degree in economics and management. The other chancellor is Dr. Asim Chauhan, who did his degree from Wharton in business. And then we have got a group vice chancellor, you know me. And then we have got vice chancellors of all the 11 universities. We have got 150 institutions in almost every facet of education, and we have got overseas universities. We became the first Indian education group to create a university in London. So we are next to the British Museum at Bedford Square. We have got a campus in Singapore, which was earlier the campus of Chicago Business School. So we acquired from them. We have a 175 acres campus in New York. This is in Long Island, and again the first Asian group which has been able to invest and acquire a university in New York. We have got 27 acres campus in Dubai. We have got a university and degree awarding powers in Mauritius, in Abu Dhabi, in Sharjah, in South Africa, in Kenya, in Amsterdam, in San Francisco, and a new university which is an ICT university in Uzbekistan in Tashkent. Got 28 schools and preschools, 2,000 acres of campuses, and these are all greenfield projects. 20 million square feet of buildings, 400 programs covering 60 disciplines. It's a research-oriented university. So more than 2,000 patents have been filed by our faculty, which are highest by any university, including IITs. 4,000 case studies have been developed by our business school faculty in the last few years, which is again the highest by any Asian university in the world. We work very closely with the Case Center UK and with the Harvard, where we are developing video cases. So this is another development in the last 1 year where we are concentrating at. 400 research projects which have been funded by the government, they are ongoing, which makes us the largest partner of Government of India to do the funded projects. If you come in G20 summit, one of the main events is happening here, which is concentrating on science and technology. So when you were entering in, you must have seen the flags of all the countries, and the Australian High Commissioner will be here along with the Australian counselor for this event. We enjoy a very close relationship with the Australian High Commission here. Your former ambassador has been thrice on the campus. The present ambassador has spoken virtually with all the faculty members. The counselors, Mr. Matthew and the scientific counselor, they are in regular touch and they keep on coming on the campus. And this is the overall philosophy of the MIT. We have entered into almost every segment of education. We have got our pre-nursery schools, which are the most prestigious schools of the country, very premium schools. K-12 schools, MIT has got K-12 schools, and these are the schools which over the years have got a status of producing some of the toppers of class 10th and class 12th. In India, what happens is, Professor Matthews, that CBSE is the largest board. So and thousands, hundreds and thousands of students appear. So in the last 2 years, in class 12, the topper of science, commerce, and arts, they are from the MIT International School, all the three disciplines. And last year, we got a distinction that the toppers of class 10th, first, second, third, class 12th, first, second, third, they came from MIT International School. So they are one of the most prestigious schools of the country. Undergrad programs, postgraduate programs, very prestigious PhD programs. We have got the largest number of research scholars. The H index of the university is highest amongst all the private universities. Postdoctoral programs, distance and online education. Again, we are the best in the country in the online education. I'll talk about it a bit later. Corporate training, continuing education. I think that these are the various segments on which we are offering our various products. These are the various accreditations. So you name accreditation from India, we have got it with the flying colors. But what makes this university unique is the two accreditations, one from WASC, which is an American accreditation, as you know, that to create a university in America, you need to have accreditation from WASC. So it was not compulsory for us because we are an Indian university, but we still took the accreditation from WASC. Similarly, from QA UK, we have got the accreditation. In terms of ranking, we are amongst the top 3% universities globally. This is as per the QS and as per the THE ranking. But in terms of employability, we are amongst the top 6 institutions, which includes public sector as well as the private sector. And in terms of internationalization, we know that RMIT, and ladies and gentlemen, if you go to Melbourne, you will find that RMIT is a household name. Everywhere in Melbourne, you will find the campus of Melbourne. First time, I think it was 20 years back, 15 years back, when I went to 17 years back, when I went to Australia in Melbourne. And I saw that what is this? Everywhere you go, CBD area, you will find campus of RMIT. You go on the left, you will find RMIT campus. You go on right, you will find RMIT campus. And the way you have been able to expand, I think the similar is the philosophy of MIT. What we try to do is that though we are expanding internationally, our concentration has been on industry quite a lot. So we don't want to just give education. We want meaningful education to be given. And that is the reason that over the years, MIT has been treated by the students as an institution which will be able to give most meaningful employment. And when your former vice chancellor, Professor Martin Bean, he came and he launched his company from here, from this campus, by the way. So I think that intention of both the top brands was that we should be able to create employability options for all students, and that is the reason that we started working together on creating something which should be exciting, which should be more meaningful for the students, which is reflected in our THE rankings, along with IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, and these are the most prestigious public institutions in India. IIT Mumbai, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur. MIT University is amongst the top 6 universities and institutions which have been able to give meaningful employment to the students. This is what our scientists they have been able to get. This is the most prestigious award given to an Indian academic institution which is able to commercialize technology. So our scientists in this university, they have been able to commercialize highest number of patents. And you can see Dr. Seema Bhatnagar, who is sitting here, very humbly, very noted scientist who works most ably and supported by many people. In engineering, we have got Dr. Manoj Pandey, if you can just Dr. Manoj Pandey is another expert from the area of engineering, who has been not only filing patents, but trying to see that how we should be able to integrate technology into the university system. Today, we have got a lot of programs which are known as hybrid programs. For example, Professor Chetri, in business, we have got a program, international business with artificial intelligence. First one, 6 years back, we launched it when people were thinking about it, that what is artificial intelligence. We have got a program with international business, data analytics, machine learning. And Dr. Manoj Pandey plays a very important role, because engineering school and the school of business, where Dr. Khattar, who is sitting here, plays a important role. And then we have got Dr. Anupma, Dr. Navleen and Dr. Shweta, who will be playing very important role with RMIT to create such programs. In the past, we also discussed that how we can start a pilot training program with RMIT. So we'll be discussing on these, but we thought that maybe that we should be able to bring few top people who are responsible for doing it. Similarly, in the area of psychology, we have got Dr. Ranjana Bhatia, who is bringing changes into the system by addressing some of the major issues which are focusing on mental health issues. So after the COVID, I think our School of Psychology was quite instrumental, not only in doing counseling, but also coming up with tools. For example, with University of Auckland, which is your neighbor, in New Zealand, we are creating a band which is going to detect early depression signs. Professor Freshwater, who's the Vice Chancellor, was here in February, and we are doing it together. And when I'm coming in November to Australia, I'm also visiting New Zealand to see that how our scientists from engineering, from business, from psychology, they can work together to create this technology. And we are in advanced talks with Apple that can we do something with them. Similarly, I can see another scientist from biotechnology. Yeah, she is there, very ably looking after the School of Biotechnology. But all what I wanted to concentrate was that intellectual property is something on which we feel so proud, and that is the reason that our all patents, whatever we file, we want that they should be commercialized. And I know that the similar vision is of RMIT also. Our online programs, they are amongst the 40 best programs as per the QS ranking, which means that we are amongst the 0.5% as per the QS ranking in distance learning education. The university has got a position of being the best private university of the country. And this was very latest, August 2023. We got this distinction. This is a very strong and very prestigious survey, MDR survey, as per which we have got this ranking. And this will show you that where the university stands. University has got many schools and institutions, but you will find that are all schools and institutions which we project and where we impart education. We benchmark these institutions amongst the best in the world. For example, you will find that our school of engineering is the best private engineering school, and specializing in computer sciences, which is our core specialty. We've got a Center of Artificial Intelligence. Similarly, in our business school, MIT International Business School has been ranked by Edu Universal, again, a very top ranking agency, as the best international business school of the entire Asia. Largest number of case studies, largest number of highest number of international conferences, highest number of patents, highest number of copyrights, highest number of research journals. That is a competency of the school. Similarly, you will find our School of Biotechnology is the best biotechnology institution, private institutions of the country. Again, highest number of patents. Scientists, they are working day and night to create meaningful patents, and highest number of students going abroad on various programs. So I think that overall you will find that, just to give you a glimpse, that whatever we do, whether it's a business school, it's school of communication, or school of psychology, or it's a school of international business, or business school, or an undergrad school, we try that we should be able to bring a change in the system. Admiral Bhatnagar, who works day and night very closely with my office as a deputy director general, is again one very leading expert whom we requested when he was retiring, and he was posted in US at that point of time, in the US in Indian embassy in US, as a naval attaché, to come and help us in further strengthening our linkages across the globe. So you will find that one way, strategy; other way, internationalization; third, scientist; fourth, strengthening our schools; and fifthly, international expansion. That's a 5-tier strategy we are following up. We got a privilege of welcoming High Commissioner of Australia to deliver the keynote address this year also, though virtually. On the previous occasions, we got a privilege of running a marathon with your ex-ambassador. So Harleen is a very good friend. We do jogging together in Lodhi Road. But with Australian High Commission, this university enjoys a very close relationship. Your education counselor, your scientific counselor, we are regularly in touch with them, and we want to create meaningful partnerships. And this is RMIT, and this is your former Vice Chancellor, Martin Bean, with whom we created a very, very strong partnership. And I think when he came with fantastic ideas that how we should do many things together. And in the previous year, I was checking out, somewhere about 1,400 students from MIT. They have gone on study abroad program to Australia, majority of them to RMIT. right? And out of these students, quite a few of them, they have taken admissions in business programs, in engineering programs. Our faculty has gone there. I think Dr. Nupma, you were there. Dr. Navleen, she has been to RMIT. So we have got two ambassadors who have been to RMIT. And Dr. Seema, you have also been? No. Right. And we have jointly hosted QS Awards also. So that is a close relationship which we enjoy with RMIT. And that's a photograph when he came, and then we thought that what we need to do many things together, and then followed by my visit to your university. This is again a place which is quite known to you. This is your university, your hall, where all of us we are sitting together. This is Dr. Navleen, I think, that's sitting on the right side. That is Stephen Malik, who is the president of Asian and Australian Business Council, and that is your faculty, very senior faculty members from your side who were there. And I took a privilege, and these are all our students who went to your university. This is one of our leading researchers who was there, and we tried to bring the researchers from both sides together by having a journal together. Presently, we have got articulation where the students from our bachelor's undergrad business programs, they can do 50% of the program here and the 50% of the program abroad. We're also very cautious that if they do 2 years there, then they can work in Australia. So we have created two programs. One is 50% in India, 50% abroad. Now there is 1 year in India and then 2 years with RMIT. And we want to further strengthen it. So during the day, we will discuss that how we can further increase and go deep into the pyramid by involving artificial intelligence and data analytics also into it. We also have a progression agreement right now in MBA, about which we will further discuss that can we start a program where 1 year can be with RMIT and the students can get their MBA degree. We also have a program, Masters of Media Management, Communication and Advertising with you. But these are all progression agreements. So we like to further discuss with you that can it be now an agreement which are articulated, and also under the NEP, what we can do further to strengthen our linkages. I think that with the new education policy, Indian government wants that we should be able to bring some of the top brands of the world to India. And I know that all of you at RMIT, you're working towards it. So maybe that we will discuss, and you can take back this proposal. I think last time also when we met virtually, we can also explore that can we have a permanent presence in Melbourne with RMIT? And can you have a permanent presence with MIT in India, which is again a very strategic move, which will take both the brands to the next level of excellence. We know each other. We have sent hundreds of students to campuses of each other. Our faculty knows. But right now, I think that most of us, we are into the bureaucratic hurdles where articulation agreement, it goes to various committees, it comes to our committee, it goes to your committee, then it goes to strategic committees, go to AC, then go to EC, go to VC, right? So I don't know how many C's they look at it. But we want to now create a strategic tie-up where we can identify about 15 programs where the students from both the sides, they do same curriculum. Not necessarily articulated, but we can look at articulation also, where there is no difference between what student is studying in Australia and what student is studying in India, so that they can very easily transfer such credits to Australia. And India is developing very fast. Under the NEP now, it is possible. Earlier, India was a closed education sector where campuses were not allowed. But now with the campuses of the foreign universities being allowed, I think RMIT can play a very important role. If we open up a campus, I think that your overall business plan, I was just looking at that, what is your, how many students you are able to draw from India, you will be able to draw much more, and that to quality students without efforts. So maybe that this is one point which we wanted that we should discuss. But then there are four major areas along with the others where we already have deliberations and agreements. We want to look at engineering. I have seen your engineering department and had very good discussions and hybrid programs between engineering and management. Similarly, mass communication is another strong area where we want to further explore that what we can do. Biotechnology. I think this is one of the very promising areas where we want that we should be able to further explore that how to. Psychology, where we have got thousands of students, and it is one of the most favored programs and institution where large number of students are coming in. Also, we like to look at that how we can create and we can strengthen the H index of the university. So PhD and research initiatives where the one guide can be from our side and the other guide can be from your side. I got a distinction of working with the Professor Martin. So both of us we guided one research scholar together, right? And today she is a vice president of a leading company. So I think that but we want it to be going deep into the metrics that some of the top faculty members from India, some of the top few from yours, if they can come together, it will help in strengthening the H index and also coming up with some leading publications. By the way, in November we are holding a research conference where we want that RMIT can become a partner of ours. This is being sponsored by Springer and Taylor and Francis, and this is for the first time any Indian university is holding it in Melbourne. Along with research awards and also looking at few top academics from both the sides whom we will be awarding from the academic institutions as well as from the industry. But we'll talk about it later. It's happening in November. We want you to become a partner of it. This is a photograph of our Dubai campus. That is our chancellor, Dr. Atul Chauhan, whose photograph appeared in the Forbes magazine. And we got into 2019 the award of providing the best intellectual as well as the infrastructure resources in Middle East. Our all campuses are US Green Building Council Platinum certified. And these are the photographs. We can't fly you to all the campuses, but we're just showing you photographs. This is MIT University where you are sitting. It's 85 acres campus, 4.1 million square feet of buildings. I remember that when for the first time RMIT delegation came, this university was not existing. So we had a cricket match with you, by the way. But this was at Sector 44, and we played cricket with you. This is a Greater Noida campus, which is not very far from here. It's about 17 kilometers from here, 21 acres of campuses. Lucknow, which is known as White House of MIT, it's a 40 acres campus. This is Jaipur campus, which is 150 acres campus. This is our Gurgaon campus, which is very close to the airport. This is 110 acres campus. This is a Mumbai campus, which is 30 acres. It's Gwalior, it's about 100 acres. And all these are greenfield projects, President Matthew. So it was very interesting journey that from nowhere to so many places, right? And creating universities. Kolkata campus. This is our Raipur campus. This is our Jharkhand campus. This is our Patna campus. And this is our new university, which has come up on Mohali. Next time you'll come, we'll take you to Bangalore. It's one of the very high-tech campuses which we have created this year. It's fully operational now. It's 60 acres campus. And we are bringing one of the most prestigious brands of UK, Harrow Schools and MIT, they will be working together now. So one campus is coming in New York, the other one is fully operational from this year in Bangalore. These are our various campuses: Ahmedabad, Bhubaneswar, Chennai, Pune, Kochi, Indore, Hyderabad. In Hyderabad also now new universities coming in. So it's an amazing story of about 30 years. Wherever we wanted, we first opened up a small campus, like RMIT opens up a small one, and then it became a very big university campus. And these are our international campuses. In Singapore, we have got now very strong presence. More than 7,000 students are there in Singapore. This is MIT Mauritius, MIT New York, which is in Long Island with a private beach, MIT Nairobi, MIT Tashkent, where the government of Uzbekistan invited us. And on their invitation, we went and we gave intellectual capital and they gave us infrastructure. So our investment is not even $1. Right, in terms of infrastructure, but we are giving intellectual capital and they are giving us the infrastructure. This is MIT London. This was our first international campus, which has got a university status now. This is next to the British Museum. And this is MIT Dubai. Similarly, we have got schools also in Amsterdam. Again, it is on the same model where the government of Netherlands invited us and gave us the infrastructure, and then we started imparting the education there by giving intellectual resources. Dubai, Sharjah, Singapore, South Africa, and this is Harrow School, which is now fully operational in Bangalore. On from the next year onwards, it will be operational in New York. Under the new Colombo plan, we have welcomed your students earlier to MIT, but we got a distinction again to welcome largest number of students from Australia under the new Colombo plan. Similarly, under the UKRI scheme, we got the again privilege of welcoming highest number of UK students. US Aid, Erasmus Plus project. I think under all these schemes, we have been able to welcome large number of students from abroad. We are the largest partner of British Council also, and also of Australian High Commission, with whom we work very, very closely. We do a series called Nobel Laureate Series, where we call some of the leading brains and academic leaders of the world to spend some time in the campus and speak to our academics, and they become the inspiration to our students. And this is known as Ambassador Lecture Series, where we call some of the leading ambassadors of the countries where we have got a relationship. For example, Australian High Commissioner coming to us. This is American ambassador. And so far, he has spoken only in one university, which was MIT. UK High Commissioner coming to campus, talking to us. Finland ambassador. And this is how you will find 400, and that's RMIT, by the way, right, on whom we feel so proud. Another project which I wanted to highlight was that giving back to the world is something which the university has been focusing on. There is a very prestigious project known as Pan-African E-Network project, and with the coming of Prime Minister Modi, he has now taken it forward, changing the name as E-Shiksha Bharati. This was a visionary project which was visualized by Dr. Abdul Kalam. So I remember at that time I was very young. I'm not old today, but at that time I was very, very young. And when he became the president of India, he took a delegation of 19 vice chancellors to Africa. So this was his first delegation. And he said, no business delegation, no developed country. I would like to go to Africa. So people said, what has happened to president of India? Right. So first, that he's not taking any industrialist. Second, he is not going to developed countries, but he's going to Africa. So he took all of us to Addis Ababa. I got a chance to travel as a part of this delegation. And president came and he spoke all African nation countries. They were sitting, and he said that I'm going to give something to Africa, which Africa, India, and the whole world is going to remember for many decades. And people clapped. 3 minutes people were clapping that now Dr. Kalam, who's a nuclear scientist, he's a nuclear scientist, number one scientist of the world at that time, that he's going to give $1 billion. And he said, but not a dollar to give. So people said that what he's going to give. So he at that time, he said that I want to give to the world virtual education. Right. So he gave the concept that can we start a virtual education, satellite-based education. And those were interesting times when Africa was not having computers. There was no internet. So European Union chair was there. So Professor Mary Johnson was there. So she said that it was too difficult, Professor President. Your thoughts are great, very innovative. You'll not be able to do that in Africa. Africa is not ready now. He was a very different person. He started laughing on the stage. He laughed. He said, we'll see. Right. And then he came back next day. We thought that project has died up. Early morning, 7:30 was landing. 10:30 he called a meeting in the ministry. Very dynamic. All VCs come, right? And then he said that I feel that this can be done in Africa. We have a very strong belief that Africa is the future of the world. How many of you agree with it? Out of the 19, 17 vice chancellors said, sir, whatever you're saying is great, but it is visionary. It's a dream. It will take 20 years to realize. Right. At that time, our founder, Dr. Chauhan, said that we will take this challenge. And he looked at us that how you're going to do this. So he said, okay, he again laughed. Not in English, in French. So you create first capsule in French. And at that time, I didn't knew French. So we came back, we started working on French. You'll not believe it. Within 6 months, we created the entire curriculum, entire presentation in French. And we became the partner of Government of India, Ministry of External Affairs, to do this project in Africa. Virgin project. No one ever thought that we should be able to do it. 2000 was the target. Do you know how many students came on this project? 80,000 African students. Today, this is the most prestigious project about which our Prime Minister talks, and he's going to be implemented. That's what the speed of MIT is, and that's what we try to do. And that's what we try to do with RMIT, that we should be able to create now joint campus, joint university, which should be operational in Australia, which should be fully operational in India. And it is not inviting even a $1 investment. We're not asking RMIT to invest, neither we are investing. So both the universities will only be concentrating on world class in intellectual resources. We want from both the sides, faculty should go. Your faculty should come here. Our faculty should go there. And that's the reason we are sending, even this time, about 50, 60 students in November. But we want that number should increase. Similarly, we have got a MIT Innovation Incubator, where we help our students to create meaningful ventures. We'll give you a round. More than 500 companies have been incubated through our incubators. Skill and vocational training. This is another area where we focus on. We like to discuss that. Are you interested in vocational training and vocational education also? 400 degrees in 60 disciplines. You name our institution, and we are offering it. Along with the many things, I think one very unique feature at MIT is that we give language training to every student. 200,000 students. French, German, Spanish, Japanese, Chinese, Russian, Arabic. They can pick up any language. And these are our centers where we are working day and night to create and have meaningful research, including research in Australia. And all this has resulted in excellent placements, excellent linkages. We are, again, the largest partner of both public and private sector in offering consulting programs. With your team, we have done quite a few consulting and training programs also in India. This is another area which we like to explore with the business school. These are few brands in India, public sector brands, where we have worked together. And we say that no university is a university if it is not having a human heart. We have adopted 2,000 underprivileged girls under the brand called Amitasha, where we provide them free education, and 1,000 boys whom we give free education along with the uniform, healthcare, food. And it is very emotional to see them graduating on the convocation. This is the future of the MIT group. 35 universities in every state and union territory. Today we have got 12. And 100 campuses across the country. We have got 39. And we have got 16 foreign campuses, but we have got a vision next 10 years, 50 campuses, and highest numbers of students in the world to be giving back to the world the quality education. Thank you so very much.
Indeed, Dr. Singh is a visionary leader and a champion of global initiatives. Thank you so much, sir, for such an insightful presentation. It is my honor to welcome and introduce to you Professor Matthews, Associate Deputy Vice Chancellor, Strategy, International and Engagement. Professor Matthews leads the Strategy, International and Engagement portfolio within the College of Business and Law. Prior to this, Professor Matthews worked as the Dean, School of Business and Management, with the primary responsibilities of ensuring a consistently high quality, transformative experience for all SBM students, staff members, and industry partners, and continuing the school's positive impact on Vietnam and the Southeast Asia region. Before being appointed as the Dean of School, Professor Matthews served as Head of Department, Management, Business, IT, Logistics, and Law from 2012 to 2016. During this time, he has made a significant impact in implementing innovative teaching approaches, introducing new needs responsive course offerings, and developing and hosting several well-received academic conferences. Professor Matthews is a respected academic in the area of commerce and management. His work has appeared in academic journals in Australia, Germany, UAE, Malaysia, Vietnam, South Africa, the UK, and the US. Thank you so much, Professor Matthews, for being with us today. May I please invite you for your address? Let's put our hands together and invite.
Thank you very much. Whilst they're sorting out my connection issues, I just wanted to say what an honor for us, myself and Prem, to be here and just looking at your impressive achievements. It's something that we cannot take it for granted, but we just wanted to admire you. And it speaks volume about your leadership and your vision. And I think this is coming from me. This university is really, I would say, operating on another level. And just reading and hearing all your achievement, it's amazing. I would like also just to acknowledge my good friend, Prem Chitri, for introducing us to RMIT, because Prem has been a friend, a colleague, and we've traveled a lot together, and it's good that I'm here. This is the first time for me to be in India, so my sincere apologies. I took it so long. I should have been here 20 years ago, but I felt like, being here and looking just at the students on campus, it's really, really impressive. And also, it speaks a lot to me because I come from a background, a humble background. I grew up in Africa, and growing up, my dad always encourages me to study. And he said, you know what, if you wanted to know the world, you need to travel all over the world. And I took it like seriously because I thought that if I do that, this is the way how I can meet people, but also create an impact to this world. And I've been traveling a lot. And it's good that you are in London. So we talked a little bit that on our experience in London. And I also I was working in United Arab Emirates. And I'm glad that you have a fantastic campus in United Arab Emirates. But also, I'm glad that we talked about Vietnam and Australia. Let me talk a little bit about RMIT and where we're coming from. Whilst they are sorting out the technology, I hope I can remember everything about RMIT. RMIT has got 4 colleges, and the College of Business is one of the biggest colleges that is operating in the, I would say, international arena. So we have the College of Vocational Education, we have the College of Design and Social Context, but also the design of the College of Engineering, Health and Sciences. Myself and Prem, we are from the College of Business and Law. So let me talk a little bit about the College of Business and Law. Within the College of Business and Law, we have 5 schools. We have the Business School based in Vietnam. We have the School of Accounting, Information Systems and Supply Chain. We have the School of Management. We have the Graduate School of Business and Law. This Graduate School of Business and Law, that's where all our postgraduate programs are, like the MBA, EMBA, and also the Juris Doctor. And also the last school is the School of Economics, Finance, and Marketing. That's the structure of the school. Few things have emerged from the business school. I'll talk about the other colleges as well so that I can give you, I would say, an overview of how RMIT operates. Within the business school, our leader, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Julie Cohen, had a vision to say, how can we bring in the industry, but also make sure that when our graduates are graduating, they have skills to generate impact in the world. So we created a strategy, and our strategy, we call it the intersection of business, technology with social impact. Because we don't want to do everything. We wanted to focus. So all our resources have been put in the intersection. So anything else we do, we always ask the question, is it at the intersection of business, technology with social impact? If yes, then we go and generate those ideas. It's the same thing with our research as well. It's always intersection of business, technology with social impact. A few years ago, our executive team introduced what we call the Digital 3. I think maybe, I don't know whether it's an Australian thing, but I realized that most of the academics, they like working in silos. They just wanted to solve their own problem. But in RMIT, we wanted to bring all the experience together. And that's why we created this Digital 3. So we started inviting professors, for example, we call it a BRIDE. So it's a Center on Human Rights. We invited them. We invited professors I think in finance, but I was looking at financial technologies, blockchain. By the way, RMIT is ranked number 2 in blockchain and financial technologies. So we started inviting them to be part of this conversation. We invited professors in cybersecurity as well to come and join this conversation. So they started creating projects, and these projects now have been submitted to the government. And we are now getting funding so that we can start implementing some solutions, not only in Australia, but also in the region. A few years ago as well, we introduced a unique business degree that we call the Bachelor of Business, with more than, Premier can remind me, with more than 17 majors. So one degree with 17 majors, because we realize that as the students are coming in, maybe from the Australian background, most of them, they don't know what to study. And when we put them in a degree, we find out some of them, they're being frustrated. So we say, let's create this trial so that the students can come in and just look at what's available. Then maybe in the second year, they can start making those decisions. It's been very popular and it's well received by the industry. I'm glad to see your vision and how you work with industry partners. We did the same thing in RMIT. So what we did is we invited industry partners. We said we wanted to create a degree, but we don't know the degree. So this degree is designed by industry for industry. So they started coming up with ideas, or maybe we need to introduce this course. So all the learning outcomes, they're all designed by industry. And I'm glad as well to see that I started working on case studies. So in RMIT, we started also doing the same thing. We created our own case studies, validated by the industry. We know for sure that we have the work integrated learning, we have internships, but some of the students, they don't want to do that. So we started saying, let's invite them. And some of our industry partners have actually been appointed as professors in practice. So they can come to RMIT for a day and work with our academics. It's been well received by our industry partners. We did the same thing in Singapore, because before India, we were in Singapore. We have a partner in SIM. So we had our first industry advisory board as well. So it's the same thing. So I can see our alignment in our strategy on how we wanted to do things. So this program is very unique. And so far, the feedback has been well received by our industry partners. That's a unique program. And for us, it was one way of how we can solve real issues. It's the same thing when we were operating in Vietnam. One of the first questions that all the parents they wanted to ask, it's all about jobs. Because we are operating in Australia, yes, we are a government program or a government university. But in Vietnam, we are operating as a private entity. And as you know, being a private entity, it's all about jobs. So how did we guarantee that? How did we make sure that when the students are graduating, they have jobs? Is to make sure that all our degrees are applied, they are authentic. And we push the envelope a little bit. And I know maybe this is something that I'm going to be challenged in this room, but I'm prepared. So we phased out all our invigilated exams. So in RMIT, we don't have invigilated exams. But of course, in accounting, we have it because of accreditation. But in all the other programs, no invigilated exams. Because the industry is saying, we don't give exams. It's all about applied. We wanted to give them a problem so you can apply the theory and they can solve the business issues. Prem, I don't know if it's working, but this is the problem that we created in RMIT, because it was one way of being innovative, being agile, and responding to the needs of the industry. We are excited because so far the feedback has been very, very good. I'm impressed by the list of your industry partners. I have to be honest with you. This is an area that we need support because we're operating in a very competitive market. We have a list of industry partners. We work with Red Cross, we work with KPMG, we work with Ernst & Young, we work with a few banks, Standard Chartered banks and other banks. But when I see the list of all your impressive industry partners, this is something that I felt like, wow, we wanted to learn from you. How did you do it? Because to me, this is an area that we can maybe work together so that we can, maybe learn from you, but also maybe when you come to Australia, you can introduce us to some of your corporate partners. And this is an area that myself and Prem, we've been discussing on our way here. We wanted to look at how can we leverage the strength of your institution, likewise from us as well. I'm excited because you mentioned about executive education. Because I think to me, this is an area where we can also look at, putting our resources together so that maybe we can create some short targeted programs, customized programs, addressing the needs of our industry partners. When we were in Vietnam, myself and Prem and other colleagues, we did the same thing as well. We launched our executive education program. So as you know, we can't compete with everyone. So what we wanted to do is to look at our industry partners, our targeted industry partners, and come up with programs that can help them. By virtue of doing that, it's not about generating revenue. It's about strengthening the relationship and having that long-term goal so that they can even come back. But it's the same thing as well. I think you mentioned about alumni. This is an area that myself and Prem, we are also passionate about, because just looking at, for example, I'll give you an example of a case study in Singapore, 2% of the population are actually RMIT alumni. So there's volume there. But how do we make sure that we can keep on that energy so that we can keep on maybe engaging with them? And this is an area that we wanted to work together, both in India, in Vietnam, in Singapore, but also in Australia. I think top of my head, Prem, you can correct me, but RMIT, we have more than 300,000 alumni within Australia. So I'm looking at when they graduate, how can we make sure that we're still connected with them? And that's why within the university, we created micro credentials. And this is an area that we can also look at it, because when we created micro credentials, we started offering them for free to all our alumni so that we can get their buy-in, because they have already invested a lot. They know us. So how can we make sure that we keep on getting them excited in all our initiatives? This is an area that I also feel like we can work together. Of course, I'm excited to look at the postgraduate programs, like the higher degrees by research, and maybe we can create some joint supervision like you suggested, but also looking at the supervision, because there's strength on both the university, from RMIT, but also Amity University. So how can we make sure that we started having those conversations? And RMIT is open. We are open to look at the opportunities on how we can work together. Of course, study tours is part of our DNA. We've done it in so many countries. And unfortunately, maybe because of my limited knowledge about RMIT, I don't think we have any study tours to India. Yeah, Prem is agreeing with me. So thank you very much for that. And I think this is an area that we can explore, because I'm looking at most of our students, they wanted to learn about the region. And India, I know it's part of our agenda. And I wanted maybe in a few months or years to come, we can create a unique study tour opportunity for our students, and even apply the funding from both the Australian government and Indian government so that they can help our students in maybe paying for their expenses. But also, I wanted to highlight that within RMIT, we have a campus in Barcelona, in Europe. So it's also worth it to look at how can we make sure that we started looking at funding from European Union, because the Vietnamese campus, they have benefited a lot, because most of the European, I would say, Union member states, they wanted to invest in Vietnam. So we channeled the investment into Vietnam. But Vietnam being a smaller campus, we look at the expertise from Australia so that they can apply the funding and generate the impact and being implemented in Vietnam. Those are the few areas that I wanted us to consider as we go on into this discussion. My apologies, I don't have the slide, so I hope that I've covered everything else that I wanted. I can just, maybe I'll just, it's okay, I'll just use it like that, it's fine. Yeah, thank you very much. I think I've covered everything I wanted to talk about. Yeah. I think the other area maybe that I wanted just to highlight is on the research side, because we talked a little bit, but maybe Prem can help me with the research side as well. So within RMIT, we have what we call centers. We have the enabling capability platforms, but also we have centers within the schools. And these looked at different areas. For example, from blockchain, cybersecurity, logistics and supply chain management, human rights, all those we have expertise within RMIT. And this is something that maybe we can look at having conversations this afternoon. Having said that, I think I've covered everything. Thank you very much for the warm welcome. I'm looking forward to the discussion this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we have got some very senior colleagues here. But before that, I will request our friend, Professor Prem Chetri, if he can introduce himself also, and then can talk about few initiatives which we want to take. And then I will request all our colleagues if they can introduce themselves and can talk about the areas we would like to work with RMIT.
Thank you very much, Professor Singh. Delighted to be here today. It's just a pleasure and honor to be in this place. Look, I come from born and brought up in Delhi. My initial education was in Delhi, of course, and I studied in Delhi School of Economics. Did my master's there, and then to JNU, MPhil. So in MPhil, I studied in CSRD, Center for Science, Center for Study of Digital Development. So we used to call it Center for Suppression, Depression, and Repression. And so they trained you so well that you come out really a gold. That's JNU tradition. I'm so thrilled to see RMIT has emerged at that equal standing of the JNU, just not in terms of teaching and learning space, but also in terms of research. It is just a delight to see the university evolve over time so organically and expanded globally. And I'm very happy in a sense that I can see I'm okay for the holidays for the next 10 years because you've got campuses across India. So I'll be visiting each of your campuses over the next 10 years. So I'm all set for my holidays, you know. Look, after studying in India, I did my PhD from RMIT. I worked as a consultant in an economics firm and planning firm, urban planning. I worked for the local government for some time, Brimbing City Council, managing their special information database. So I was a manager there. I also worked with the federal government for a little while. Later on, after completion of my PhD, I went to the University of Queensland, where I spent about 4 to 5 years. Yes, that's when we met. And returning back to RMIT. I moved back to RMIT as a lecturer, and within 5 years, I became a full professor. In the first 5 years, I brought about $5 million research funding to the university, and every time I leave, intend to leave university, retain me and give me promotion. So every year I got a promotion in that period. Look, I don't want to say much. We have, the reality is that we have a good understanding, long relationship. But I want to see it more strengthened in terms of its practicality, and we want to build in a sense that we want to see the volume, to be honest. We got MOU been signed, we got infrastructure put in place. We want to take that to the next level, where we can see more intense engagement of staff exchanges, larger number of students coming to study as a part of the degree. And I would like to, because I'm very much research oriented, I want to see a joint PhD supervisions, and some of that we should be able to, if I may, be able to fund higher degree research, hopefully candidates. So I don't want to say more, but I just want to say thank you again, and I'm so delighted to be here among this esteemed faculties. Remind me of old days, going back to the B School of Economics, where we have JP Chaiwala, So they got two variety of teas. One is what we call JP, just pani. And of course, the milk tea, typically. So we were always on the side of the just pani tea. Thank you very much. Nimbu pani was, of course, that's where all the girls used to be. So we used to hang around there, that spot. Anyhow, thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Chetri, and if you permit, Prem, a good friend. But it also brings a lot of memories which we nourished while we were students. So Nimbu Pani is still very famous, and Reverend Thampu still remembers naughty students. Yeah, so we had good time. But I think that what is most important is that both the sides, we should now sit together to understand that which are the areas where we can strengthen our relationship. So we have requested all the senior directors and deans to be present here, and they can highlight that areas, and then we can make a roadmap during lunch that how we can look at what is your vision, how many students, and you can go back, and then maybe that fortnightly we can have discussions that how we should start up. To start with you.
Thank you, sir. And good morning. And once again, welcome to MIT University. And I'm Dr. Manoj Kumar Pandey, Director of MIT School of Engineering Technology. First of all, I'm very impressed by the thoughts which I learned about RMIT and the way you are nurturing your students and your thoughts as well. And in a similar fashion, we also take care of the industry collaboration in a large, starting from when the student land to the university. As per our registration process, we used to ask the student for their aspiration first, what exactly they want to do, what outcome they want to do after 4 years or 3 years of the degree. So, and not only about the aspiration, but what type of company and where they would like to go after, and what are their aspirations after being that one. So it was very interesting to know about that. RMIT also in the same fashion, same line of concern. They are also in there. And starting from there, then we include the industry in a huge way for curriculum designing, for curriculum development, and industry visits, internships, and at the last in the placements as well. Apart from that, as has been informed by Group Vice Chancellor Sir, that MIT School of Engineering Technology, we are very much involved in research and innovation as well. The areas of our interests are in the Department of Computer Science Engineering and artificial intelligence, machine learning, and information technology, electrical and electronics engineering, electronics and communication engineering, civil engineering, aerospace engineering, almost all the engineering branches that we used to offer to our students. And every year we are publishing a good number of research papers in QM journals that we used to receive from our Honorable President Sir and our Chancellor Sir. And apart from that, till now, as a whole, that Chancellor, the Group Vice Chancellor has informed about 2,000 patents has been filed that we had called the intellectual property right as well. Out of that, around 200 will be from the MIT School of Engineering and Technology, and continuously involving into that. And we have a separate cell which is called the Design Center, where any student with a great idea, with a creative idea, they can move into and they can start realizing into it. And we have all the component devices, all whatever they may require. It's just a freebies that they can go and they can start realizing it. And it's just next door to it. If you'd like to visit that as well, because many of the robots and many of the drones and many other type of such innovations has been developed and kept over here. And apart from the 4-year degree that we are offering the master's degree and the PhD degree as well, we have around 150 research students in our institution right now. And so we would like to take forward all the articulations that are in there. Thank you very much.
I think there's 3 areas maybe that our team can write up. One is engineering, where we already had discussions. So we need to freeze now agreement that in the Bachelor of Engineering, especially in computer science, how we can work together. Some discussions had already taken place. We also took one of our colleagues to RMIT earlier, who was working with Dr. Pandey very ably on various initiatives. So that needs to be worked on. And then also, if we need to start a program in India, Dr. Pandey, then we need to see that how we can start your program in India. And similarly, when our students are going, it's a 4 years program. So even if the students are doing 2 years in India and then 2 years in Australia, then they will be able to work for another 3 years in Australia. So I think that that is a very strong program which we work together. So that is one initiative, and also the research area. So if you can introduce us with the from your computer sciences and from your engineering school, that who's going to the point of contact, that will be very helpful. We also need to look at it. We need to finish this session by 11:50. So I would request all of you, if you can introduce yourself and very briefly areas where we need to work on, so that we can create a matrix and then we can send it to them. Then rest of the discussions we can have during lunch.
Yeah, my name is Admiral Alok Bhatnagar. After I left the Navy, I've joined here as Deputy Director General for International Affairs. So I just want to bring to your notice one thing, that you have a fantastic university, and we are all looking forward to having our students to go there. But we'd also like to offer the facilities and the expertise that we have in MIT to students from RMIT. And that's the main benefit of any relationship, where the students can benefit. Today, what India is, you all know, and it will only benefit the students if they can also come here and spend some time, starting with India Immersion Program or a longer degree. They need not stay here, but they can get a degree and a stamp of having spent time in India. That will benefit them in the long run. Thank you.
So if you can request one of the key persons and introduce us. On the previous occasions, RMIT students have been on the campus, and this is a very powerful program which we have been able to create. It's a 15 days long program, and we offer scholarships also. So that is another initiative. Under the India Immersion Program, if you are able to apply under the New Colombo grant, then that grant can be transferred to these students. Also, we do a semester long program. So that can immediately be done. Maybe that you can think of nominating 2 of your faculty members during the year, if they can visit us. From our side, we are already sending few in November. Right. Thank you.
Welcome to MIT University, and I am Dr. Ranjana Bhatia. I am heading the Institute of Psychology and Allied Sciences. Ours is a very fast growing institute in terms of number of students opting for various subjects. The reason, I think one of the reason is pandemic, that people are having so many problems problems related to mind to deal with. So as far as area of interest is concerned, we can collaborate in counseling psychology, in clinical psychology, and we can have internship in counseling and clinical. Then we can also, learn how therapy sessions are done in your university and how therapy sessions are done by our faculty members in our country. And student exchange is another thing, faculty exchange, and research guide, which has already been mentioned. So there's so much more to talk, but time is the constraint. So thank you.
Uh, Very good afternoon to everyone, and especially our guests from RMIT. I'm Dr. Khattar, and I'm from MIT International Business School. So just to keep it very short, like Sir had just mentioned, we had introduced 6 years back very innovative programs, both at the UG level and at the PG level. So like he mentioned, BBA, IB, and AI. Probably that time, a lot of eyebrows were raised, but we are seeing the result now. Our 3 batches are already in the market, and they have been really accepted very well in the industry. So that has given us more, incentive to also more programs, more innovative programs as the years pass by. Like even this year, we have introduced a similar program, this thing. So it's at UG level and similar programs at the PG level also. So like you said, we are looking forward to intense engagement, like forward to, and maybe later in the afternoon when we meet, we can carry on to further in a more detailed manner. Thank you so much.
BBA AI and data science.
Good morning. I am Dharmender Kumar from School of Communication, heading the department. And we have already run the program called Three Continent, where our student goes for 6 months for UK and USA. And they stay 3 months for UK, 3 months for USA. And also some international programs are there. 2 year the student studies here and 1 year for the other campuses, Northampton campus. We like to have collaboration with the student exchange program or research. Also, we have research program here. 30 PhD scholars are enrolled here. So we can like to collaborate with the guide things that has already proposed.
We know communication is very important in your university, and on the previous occasions our students and faculty, they have done few projects with RMIT, including filmmaking, right? So once when we'll give you a visit to our some of the labs, you will find that how we are doing communication, but bachelor's of journalism and communication is another area which we like to develop, right? And maybe that few research projects, including filmmaking, right? When Professor Martin was a vice chancellor, and he launched a company, Future First. At that point of time, School of Communication played a very important role. So we would like to explore further that how can we create some content together where we have got a specialty. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's with me. Good morning. So my name is Dr. Pooja Vijayaraghavan. I'm presently the officiating director of Amity Institute of Biotechnology. Though our international initiatives are very ably taken care by our assistant director, Dr. Seema Bhatnagar. She's been doing this for many years and is very well versed with how to take these things forward. One thing that I would like to add is that biotechnology, the students, they are very interested in going abroad because biotechnology has a lot of scope, not only in India, but also in other countries. Bioinformatics, artificial intelligence, data science, data analysis, and healthcare, that has also come up very, very strongly across the globe. Another area where we see we can do a lot together and our students would highly benefit is in the area of agriculture and climate change, because I think Australia and New Zealand is also working very strongly in these areas, and we know a lot of students who are working in these areas in different Australian universities, so you can think about those areas as well. And you would anyway be coming to our department in the afternoon. So we have invited all our senior professors. So we would discuss regarding all of this in much detail. Yeah. So welcome to both of you to Amity. And I'm Professor Dr. Seema Bhatnagar. I'm Assistant Director at Amity Institute of Biotechnology. So we have experience with the articulation program, study abroad program, semester exchange, student exchange, faculty exchange, all those aspects we are already doing. And of course, students have traveled to Australia and many are settled there also.
So these are the aspects that we want to explore with your university. And this time also some students are traveling to Australia in November. So we look forward to very good collaboration. The areas we've already mentioned, and definitely research collaboration involving students. Like students can be the bridge to bring the faculty together. So that is the thing that we want to explore and bring together the two universities in research, joint uh, guiding of students and all those things. So these are some of the things that we want to explore, and we look forward to some meaningful collaborations with your university. Thank you.
We are very strong in research in biotechnology. So I think that maybe if we can identify a few areas where we can file joint patents, we can also look at the PhD program, which is a very strong program of Institute of Biotechnology, along with it the undergrad and postgrad program. So I think these are the areas we'd like to work on. So for one PhD, we have been able to. Interestingly, Dr. Navleen is here. So she was the first PhD student of a business school. So she is now associate professor with us. Professor. Now she's a professor. But her PhD had references from your vice chancellor, Professor Martin. Yeah, thank you.
So, Dr. Anupama, I look after the academic mapping in the Group Vice Chancellor's office. I also help coordinate with the faculty. We have a fortnightly lecture series, and we'd be very, very happy if we could coordinate. And we have such good friends in RMIT from our visits earlier. Also, joint research is something that we are looking at, and we're also sitting in the afternoon to discuss the MBA and the BBA programs in AI and data analytics, where Dr. Khattar and we will sit in the afternoon, and we'll take this forward. Welcome again to Amity Universe. Thank you.
I think we fortnightly lecture series we would like to develop.
Hi, very happy to have you here, Professor Matthews and Professor Chetri. I'm Dr. Shwetananda, and from MIT International Business School. We work under the able leadership of our Group Vice Chancellor. And with this supreme guidance, we have gracefully been able to conduct international conferences across the globe. This time, we are having this in November in Melbourne, and we look forward to partner with RMIT in this respect and also have the joint research with your faculty. That would be highly appreciated. Thank you.
Dr. Nanda was a co-chair of the research conference we organized in UK, and she is quite instrumental working with Taylor and Francis and with Springer. And we are organizing this in November, so she will be traveling along with Dr. Navleen. So both of them, they will be visiting you.
So very good afternoon, everyone. Hi, Professor Prem. We met at RMIT. So I'm the one probably who has an on-site experience of being there at RMIT. In Melbourne, I've been there a number of times. And this time again, I'm going to come out there in November. And our students, they would definitely love to come again to the RMIT campus. So this is one collaboration that we are looking forward for. And the second important thing is, Professor Matthews, you mentioned about fintech and blockchain. So definitely we'll look forward for the same if we can do the research in the area of finance, and then we can collaborate in that area.
Dr. Navleen and Mr. Kanish, they talk more about RMIT,
Yeah.
less about MIT, because I think both of them, they are your ambassadors here. Right. So, and she has been to RMIT number of times. But these are the broadly areas, but we need to create a financial model at which we can work. I think that we will further discuss it during lunch, but we'd like to have concluding remarks from your side, and then we will take the discussions forward.
Yeah, thank you very much for the warm welcome, but also looking at opportunities. I'm always inspired when I meet a group of academics that are open-minded. Because I mean, working in academia sometimes can be, I would say, challenging because you don't have brains. So I'm looking forward to our discussion this afternoon. And yeah, the sky is the limit because we already have our vice chancellors in agreement with what we wanted to do. So to me, this is a great opportunity. And I can't wait to meet everyone in the afternoon and just to talk about what we can do this year and also moving forward. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for your words. For the felicitation ceremony, may I please invite Professor Dr. Gurinder Singh Sir and our senior esteemed colleagues to come forward and felicitate our esteemed guests. Professor Matthews, Associate Deputy Vice Chancellor, Strategy, International and Engagement, RMIT University, Australia. A big hand for Professor Matthews. Thank you, sir. Professor we warmly welcome RMIT once again. Professor Prem Chetri, School of Accounting, Information Systems and Supply Chain, RMIT University, Australia. Big hand for Professor Chetri. Thank you. As we come to the end of this session, we extend our sincere gratitude to Professor Matthews and Professor Prem, as well as all our senior colleagues who have joined us today, both online as well as offline. Thank you so much for being with us. Our sincere thanks to the admin, the IT team, and the media team for their unparalleled support. Thank you and have a great day ahead. We can have a photograph.